Here we go.
Here we go.
Mhm.
Yeah, we straight chillin', serial killing, pre-cool villains on the mic, got you reeling. 5-star rated from the floor to the ceiling. If you catch a 1-star, no time for feelings. Got a demon DJ on the ones and twos, by the name Beelzebub, so don't get confused. So grab a seat by the fire, roast them all over two, and prepare to hear the legend of the straight chillin' crew.
What up, nerds, and welcome to another bananas episode of Straight Chilling, the weekly horror movie review show where you chill and we kill, slice, dice, and chop up yet another horror movie. My name's Bob, and I'll be your host for the evening. This is episode 517, recorded on Tuesday, February 25th, 2025. Tonight we're talking about the latest and greatest from your boy Osgood Perkins. The movie is The Monkey. Before we get into it, let me introduce everyone else on the show tonight. First up, calling in from Washington, D.C., we got your boy, Ran Diesel.
The old rusty gutter.
What's up, buddy? Good to talk to you. Ready to talk some monkeys in the fish?
I am ready to talk some monkey today. The old rusty gutter, that's your favorite sexual move, right?
Don't be crass, Bob.
Sorry.
Don't be disgusting, you fucking ape. You fucking disgusting ape. I don't know what I'm doing, man. I'm fucking punch drunk right now.
That
I have
is
no banter to give you. I'm
okay.
sorry.
Next up, calling in from Seoul, South Korea, we got your boy Soju. What's up, man?
Oh, what up? It's your boy next of Skin Stains, boys. Boys ready to slap the old monkey today, or whatever they say.
That's what somebody says.
That's what I say all the time.
That's what they say.
You gotta
It's time.
You gotta slap that
slap
monkey
the
around.
monkey. You gotta do it. Stephen King says it famously, I think.
I believe that. There's a lot of cocaine involved in that.
And you know something? I sort of enjoyed it.
I sort of enjoyed it. It was
We know you did, Steve.
60%
Jesus
enjoyable.
Christ.
We know you did. This short story was written in 1980, so he was probably under the influence.
He's probably slapping the monkey and thought, you know what? This might make a good little
This
short
is-
story.
This is true horror. This is true horror right here.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're talking about
Yeah.
the latest from your boy Osgood Perkins. This guy's just churning these movies out. Longlegs just came out last July. We got The Monkey in February, and there was a teaser trailer, a post-credits teaser trailer at the end of The Monkey for his next movie called Keeper. So he's already got another
yeah.
I
one.
didn't even see that.
Yeah, I don't know what it's about. You can't really tell. The teaser trailer was definitely a tease, but
Okay,
Whoa.
good. I do not care. I do not. I would be happy if there were no more post-credit anythings. Just stop. The train's over.
yeah, it's not ideal. It's interesting that they all seem to be produced by Neon though, so it's like I don't know if this one's coming out in another 6 months or something. It said coming soon, but maybe this year. It's still very early, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Um,
I didn't realize that. And also too, I was reading a review the other day just to clarify something because I'm just thinking about it now and I didn't look it up. Is I was reading a review the other day that was saying Longlegs was his debut film, and that's absolutely not true, right?
Now he had 3 or 4 before
Yeah,
that.
okay. Terrible article.
Just wrong. Not
Just
even close.
completely wrong. Okay.
Yeah, the Black Coat's daughter.
Yeah, Black Coat's daughter was the one
Hansel
that
and
came to my mind.
Gretel.
Yeah, okay.
I'm the pretty thing that lives in the house.
Damn,
So
I
at
should have
least
saved it
3.
so I could have ridiculed this
That's
person
just a
publicly.
statement, not a movie.
Could have just torn them down.
I am the pretty thing that lives in the house. In case you were wondering, before we get into the review, let's tackle just a little bit of housekeeping real quick here. We do have our March poll currently posted on our Patreon website for a few more days anyways. Get the votes in before the end of February. We'll see what we're talking about this March. The theme for March, Juice, it's your takeover month. What are we doing?
Taking over. This is the last week to talk about my takeover. We are doing Dark Disney, and the three films I have chosen are Something Wicked This Way Comes, The Big Black Hole of Time, and Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. Bob, hello.
I don't like soft ass shit.
Damn.
Well, that's the program for this month. It's fall, I guess.
Soft ass shit.
I like that hard shit.
Hard ass shit.
I like the hard ass shit. Bob,
That
how are those
hard
numbers
horror.
looking? Yeah, hard. This is hard horror right
Pirates
here.
of the Caribbean, the hardest horror there is.
The monkey. There's nothing harder than slapping the monkey, boys. Bob,
Easy for you.
Nothing harder.
how are those numbers looking, Bob?
Black Hole sitting at 19% of the vote. Last place. Second place, we got Something Wicked This Way Comes with 38% of the vote. First place, we got Pirates of the Caribbean with 42% of the vote.
Ooh, that's
cool,
only a
yeah.
4% difference, isn't it? Is that
Yeah,
right?
that's probably
That
like
is
one
correct.
vote swing
All
there.
right.
Yeah. So
I'd
they've been pretty
math.
close this whole time. So we'll see if there's any shenanigans playing out within these last couple days.
We love your shenanigans. Can't get
Mhm.
enough. Get those votes in, and we'll see what we're talking about in March. We're dropping mini casts over on Patreon every other Friday as well. We just dropped one last Friday talking about Squid Game Season 2.
Whoa.
And
Hot damn.
this Friday, the 28th, February 28th, your boy Bob's talking about a little movie called Presents.
Whoa, Bob.
Whoa.
What's that about?
Like gift cards, that kind of presents?
Present. A dude gets presents.
A
dude
dude
gets
gets
presents.
haunted in his own house by all the blues he bought.
Whoa.
Yeah, Presents. This is a relatively new movie. Came out a few weeks ago. Lucy Liu, haunted house film shot from the point of view of the ghost haunting the house. Something pretty interesting. Steven Soderbergh doing kind of an experimental haunted house movie. So check out my thoughts on that, dropping this Friday, the 28th.
Bob, do you think when physical media finally dies, you'll be haunted by your blues?
Never. Never! I'll
I
keep it
think
alive.
he's already haunted by his
single-handed.
blues. That's not a posthumous
His
thing.
his wallet is.
He wakes up in a dead sweat. It's like, oh God, I haven't spent my fucking gift cards yet.
They're about to expire! Fuck!
Jesus
I
Christ!
seriously doubt that. I doubt they've reached their expiration date.
Uh-huh. That is all we got going on over at Patreon. Do you guys have anything you need to plug?
I guess coming out this week is the second part of the coverage I did on the Arctic Monkeys' fourth album, Second in Sea. That's you can check that out over on the podcast Don't Believe the Hype, which is Arctic Monkeys podcast that covers the entire discography of the band. Other than that, I think my house is clean.
Bob, you good?
Sounding squeaky.
This house is clean.
All right, let's get into the main event. We're talking about The Monkey, and we're kicking it off with the back of the box.
What's on the back of the box?
Bob, I saw you had a fake little box there.
Yeah, I got a German bootleg. It's called Naughty Drummy Monkey. It's an Ozzy Perky film. See? I don't know if you can see.
Slightly, yeah. That looks like a duck, kind of.
No, sir, that's a very
That's a
well-drawn
German
monkey.
That's a German monkey.
Well,
They all have bills.
yeah. I heard over in Germany they actually choke the monkey. They don't slap it. It's a little
Jesus.
cultural difference there.
How the other half lives.
Anyway, Naughty Drummy Monkey coming at you on Blu-ray very soon. I'm sure it's going to be on the Steele's books as well. The latest from your boy Ozzy Perky.
Got to get in steel, you know.
You gotta get the steeled books. This is rated R with a runtime of 1 hour and 38 minutes. Based on a short story by Stephen King. The screenplay was written by Osgood Perkins. It's also directed by Osgood Perkins. Starring Theo James, Tatiana Maslany, Christian Convery.
Come back.
Convery.
You're
Colin
slipping into an
O'Brien.
accent I don't think you have any control over.
Rohan
Daddy.
Campbell, Elijah Wood. You know.
Oh, I forgot. God damn it.
We got Wood.
I was so disappointed. Minus
Yeah,
a half star.
for the Wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was barely in it, but he is definitely in it. Plot synopsis brought to you by IMDb is as follows. When twin brothers Bill and Hal find their father's old monkey toy in the attic, a series of gruesome deaths start. The siblings decide to throw the toy away and move on with their lives, growing apart over the years. That's sort of the plot. A little
Yeah,
bit.
kind of.
Yeah, it doesn't. That really seems like the end of a story.
They just
Like,
move away
in
and fuck off, and it's fine.
Yeah, and then they drift apart, and the credits roll.
It's fine. This is a brand new movie, first time watch for all three of us. Would you boys recommend folks check out The Monkey? Randeezy, kick us off.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this is I don't know. This is not going to be for everybody. I don't think. Like, it's a very it's definitely a horror comedy, more so than I anticipated. I had avoided some of the trailers and things like that, so I didn't know that much about it. And it's very, very leans into horror comedy. So if that's your sort of thing, for sure. And it got a lot of good crowd reactions when I went to see it in the theater. So I think it's worthy.
All right, Juice, what about you?
Yeah, I think I would recommend it as well. I actually was quite surprised by this film. I also try to go in as blind as possible. I didn't really know a lot about this. And I've never seen the original, what is it, Monkey Shines from the 80s or whatever?
It's a different movie.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I've never seen that one either anyway. So, yeah, it's I was pretty surprised about the amount of comedy and just the type of film this was. But I thought it was quite fun. I think it's pretty fun, low stakes kind of horror film out in February. So, yeah, I think it is a pretty good watch. Bob, how about you? Would you recommend people check this out?
I do not recommend people check this out, actually.
Wow, that's a surprise.
Was not expecting that.
I wasn't.
The Lone Dissenter. Yeah, I thought this movie was kind of a bore.
Must have been the
honestly.
wood that did.
It was a severe lack of wood in this
We
movie.
need more wood.
More wood. We'll get into
to beat our monkeys with.
Oh God. Sounds horrible.
There's
They're
really
into
just
the-
like no positive interpretation of that statement.
Yeah. This movie, I couldn't wait for it to be over, really. I just was not vibing with it. I thought it was pretty boring. But we'll get into all the nitty-gritty here in just a few moments. That sounds like generally a recommend, though. I'm definitely the dissenter on this one.
You are.
So, check out The Monkey. It's still in theaters, and it's doing pretty well. I believe it's already made its budget back. So, hey yo.
There you go.
state's going apey.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are going to be spoiling the shit out of The Monkey, and here comes your warning.
Comes.
Spoiler warning.
Bob, did you type up a plot synopsis for this film that you hate so much?
I
I
did.
just wrote the word boring. Underline, underline, underline.
Bullshit.
Try again. nerds.
Derivative.
You think this is horror? Fucking poser.
Bob, hit us with that plot synopsis.
I don't like soft ass shit.
Bob's plot synopsis.
Oh, you want real horror, you
This isn't hard horror. Meat and
wanna see-
potatoes.
See this monkey ripping people apart.
They should have beat the monkey more.
Should have rammed a drumstick up someone's pee hole, bitch.
Well, God damn, Bob.
All right. In 1999, we see a pilot by the name of Petey Shelburne trying to return a cursed toy drumming monkey to a pawn shop. The owner says no. And when the monkey plays his drum, the shop owner is killed in a very bizarre accident. Petey then disappears, leaving his wife Lois to raise their two sons, Hal and Bill. The boys find the monkey in a closet and wind it up. Their babysitter is then beheaded at a hibachi restaurant. Bill's relentless bullying of his brother causes Hal to turn the key yet again, hoping that Bill would die, but instead their mother suffers an aneurysm and dies. Hal chops up the monkey before they move to Maine to live with their aunt and uncle, but the monkey reappears in one piece in their new home. Bill turns the key again, which results in their uncle being trampled while on a hunting trip. The boys then seal the monkey in its box and throw it down a well. We jump forward 25 years, and Hal is now an adult, estranged from his brother Bill, as well as from his son Petey, who he only gets to see once a year. Hal's ex-wife and her new husband have a plan to adopt Petey and cut Hal out of his life entirely after this one final trip with his son. The monkey manages to escape the well and causes Aunt Ida to die. At the subsequent estate sale, a boy named Ricky buys the monkey and gets rather attached to it. Bill calls Hal and tells him to go to Aunt Ida's house and look for the monkey. At that point, a woman staying at the same motel as Hal jumps into the pool and is electrocuted and explodes. While at Aunt Ida's home, Hal witnesses the real estate agent get killed with a shotgun. Then he discovers that Bill has hired Ricky to get the monkey, and Bill now has the monkey. Bill long suspected their mother's death was caused by Hal using the monkey, and he has waited years for it to resurface so he could take his revenge instead of just killing his brother outright for some reason. He also deduces whoever turns the key is immune from dying. Bill wants Petey to turn the key and attempt to kill his own father, as Bill's repeated attempts have proven fruitless. Ricky dressed up as a cop and forces Petey to enter Bill's house and search for the monkey. Petey meets his uncle Bill, who tricks him into turning the key, resulting in Ricky's death by a million wasps. Bill tries to force the monkey to drum without using a key, causing the monkey to drum wildly and kill several people all over town. Bill and Hal reconcile over their mother's death, and then Bill is decapitated by one of his own booby traps. Hal and Petey drive through the devastated town and witness widespread death. They then see a pale man riding on a horse, implied to be Death. Hal and Petey accept they are the keepers of the monkey and must keep the key from ever being turned again. Hal asks Petey if he'd like to go dancing just like his mother used to. Petey accepts, and then we roll them sweet credits.
All right.
Yeah.
Wind it up. All right, boys. Why is this movie good? What'd I miss?
I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was, so I thought it was a lot of fun with some surprising moments that kind of hit pretty hard. Like with the mom dying, for instance. You know, her conversation just kind of like about death, and then also to the brothers kind of relationship. Like when the mom dies and the one like fucked up brother like has his breakdown in the church and he's like, "Mom, get up," you know, or good joke or whatever. He has this like realization of death. Like that moment hit pretty hard as well. And then I thought that the gore was pretty fun. It was, you know, that kind of exercise or just like a fun exercise in creating as much like wild deaths as you could. So, you know, trampling and all your guts are inside the sleeping bag and that crazy shotgun falling down and the jumping in the pool and exploding. I don't know. It was just pretty fun and entertaining with splashes of like meaningful moments.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
So personally, like, yeah, I think I might be a little bit in between, but like I'm definitely not sour on this film, but I don't like emotions never factored in for me on this one at all. Like I like the most I agree that the mother was the most like interesting character, though. Like that relationship was at least something, and it gave us something to kind of pivot on for a little bit. Other than that, I didn't see a whole lot of like emotional resonance or anything like that. In fact, most of the characters, almost every character in this movie, feels like what's her name? Aunt whatever from Sleepaway Camp escaped from this movie and then went into a totally different movie. And everybody in this movie acts on that like insane tier of bizarre, like chewing the scenery shit. And I kind of like that. Like I think it's like just kind of silly, frivolous fun. I did like all the really creative kills. I didn't particularly like the gore effects so much. Not universally anyway. There were a couple of kills that were like a little bit like too bombastic for me to like even find very interesting. Like the bees was like a weird
that
one
was probably
to me.
the worst one.
But other than that, like I did like the lady just exploding for no reason. I found a lot of humor in it. And I think that it was like tonally, uh, it was a nice sort of like send up, it felt like, of a certain kind of B movie that I can't really like put my finger on exactly. So I liked that about it. I liked all the cameos. Elijah Wood made me laugh pretty good. Uh, you know, I enjoyed it, but ultimately, like I don't think that I think it was pretty aimless. You know what I mean? Like the ending was kind of a thud, and I didn't really get a whole lot out of like the father son relationship so much. So a lot of the character motivations seemed a little like confusing to me in the moment. Um, yeah, I don't know. It was all right. Like I think that I'm kind of like middle of the pack here.
Yeah. I This movie started out so strongly. I feel the same way about Long Legs, where like the best moment in the whole movie is the opening sequence, and then it can never reach those heights again. When he takes that monkey out into the alleyway and like uses a fucking flamethrower, and you see it's like plastic melting off and its bones and stuff, and like that whole like cold open I thought was just fantastic, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm down for this. It's going to be a bit of a roller coaster ride. And I generally enjoyed the first act when they're children and their babysitter dies and the mom dies. That was shocking. But whenever we jump forward into adulthood, I feel like the movie just totally lost steam. Like I just felt myself very bored with the characters and their interactions. Like Hal trying to reconnect with his son, but his son not really having it, and like the twins being at odds, but then just like reconciling for seemingly no real reason at the end of the movie, and just I don't know, nothing really feels like it has stakes, and that can be fine in a movie. Not every movie has to have like these super dire stakes necessarily, but I just wanted more of just more of everything, I guess. Like the kills didn't feel crazy enough or frequent enough to carry me through. It's like the spectacle, I feel like it was just kind of lacking in both camps for me. I liked probably my favorite kill was the Aunt Ida kill where her hair catches on fire and then she runs outside and impales herself.
Yeah.
That was really memorable. But a
After
lot of
getting a bunch
them,
of fish hooks in her face and
yeah, the
shit.
fish
Yeah,
hooks.
that was like a
Yeah.
multifaceted death.
And that one actually reminded me a bit, and this movie kind of in general reminded me a bit of the Final Destination movies,
Yeah,
where there's just this entity that's gonna kill
like
you for
freak accidents.
seemingly no
You
reason.
know,
Yeah, and freak accident. And it's the thing that like really drove that idea home in my head is at the very end of the movie where you just see Death cruising through the streets on a horse, and I was like, oh, so it's just Death, which is another thing that like I like didn't really like in this movie. I mean, it doesn't. Nothing really seems to
I'm a little
matter much
split
in
on
this
that.
movie,
But
but in Long Legs, you're like, huh, I wonder if it really is the devil. And then you just see the devil, and you're like, okay, well, it is the devil. So like he kind of just, I don't know, he just shows you everything in the movies,
well,
in
they
a lot of his
referenced the
movies.
pale horse and all that stuff throughout the movie a couple times, but I just don't see the
Oh
point in
yeah,
doing that. Like, it's pretty clear what's happening. I don't like
yeah.
it. It didn't need like it was kind of a cool effect. Like visually, I kind of liked the way Death looked in that. I thought it was a pretty
He
cool
looked
depiction of
fine. Yeah, it
Death.
just
It just seemed
was
like
odd.
I need a way to end this movie with something that
Yeah,
resembles
yeah.
Resonance, and then they did that, and then they took the punch out with the cheerleading squad getting beheaded, which was fun enough. Like the entire town blowing the fuck up essentially was I really liked that. I thought it was a lot of fun. Um, I don't know, like having people just like a bride just fall
The
through the roof and
skydiving
shit. Like
wedding.
it's
I
just
like
like
that they set that up. That was pretty, like, I thought that was a solid payoff.
shit. I didn't even connect that dot until you just said that. You're right.
Yeah.
That was the skydiving thing.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I liked a lot of that stuff. It just like yeah, the emotional stuff just it didn't really hang together for me. I did not. I think I just don't like any of the characters in this movie except for maybe the mom and maybe the kid. That's it. Like they're the only ones that seem like like
Well,
people
yeah.
that I can understand. You know what I mean? Who's in even their intentions I can understand. Even fucking Hal, like I don't know, man. Like it seems like he's dead set, not just on not on like protecting his kid or whatever, but it seems like he's like intentionally obtuse about shit. He's like it's like he leans into being victimized, and it really was frustrating to watch, and not in like a he's eventually going to get his comeuppance, or he's eventually going to like turn this around, and he's going to like become a more fulfilled person. That never really happens. The most that happens is his shithead brother like realizes the error of trying to get revenge on his brother for doing something that ultimately he couldn't control either, trying to implement something that he couldn't control either. And he's just like, well, whatever. And then they even take the piss out of that moment. So like the emotional stakes just didn't really pay off for me, but the comedy, the silliness, and just general tone of it was like, it was very bombastic and kind of over the top, and that got enough enjoyment out of me. I would rewatch it, but I'm not going to go back to this for like. It's certainly not for anything subtle. This is the least subtle movie I might have ever seen in my life. Genuinely.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing like hidden here. I probably don't really want to rewatch it either. But I did think that like I think so. I agree with Bob. I like the open, and then I like the first 30 minutes where they're kids. And I think the problem with moving to the next part of that is one, they're like separated, so they're kind of like kooky characters and they're polar opposites, but when they're isolated, it's not as interesting. It's the fact that they need to kind of like play off each other. And in the first part, the mom is kind of what grounds it. Like they have their own interaction going on, and then that gives it some emotional like resonance, or just like a grounded character to kind of like fit in with that, for them to bounce off like their kookiness.
Grounded, but still kind of bombastic in her own way.
She
like,
is,
in a more
yeah,
grounded
yeah.
way.
Yeah. But I also thought it was a weird choice. I mean, I guess it worked out, but during it, I was like, why are they doing this? Like, it didn't necessarily bother me, but it was curious about, it was set in like 1999, but it felt very retro. Like they had what, like flapper music or something. I don't know. There was just like some aesthetic choices in the music and the like aesthetic that
Very
made
popular in the 90s.
feel much
There was the swing
older.
revival.
Yeah.
So I don't know what was up with that.
I kind of liked that though. Like I noticed
yeah.
that too. Like like it's the thing is like it does this weird thing where like the kids are like 90s kids, or at least the brother is. He wears his fucking fire shirt and his Jinkos.
I think it's a Jinko, yeah.
And he's like calling his brother dumb shit and all this stuff. Like all that's very 90s feeling. But then their dad looks like he's like directly out of like the 1940s. You know what I mean? Like he looks like Pan Airways sort of pilot or some shit. And like I don't know. I think that like it's an intentional. I think that's intentionally to evoke like the tone that I'm talking about, like the kind of send up of these older movies. It's just like it's doing a serviceable job but noticeable job of trying to be divorced from time and space without and totally doing that, which I can get behind. Like I kind of get it. Like because I feel like the intention of this movie is to take elements from like all kinds of B movies and silliness and just make it as amp it up as high as possible. That means that every aesthetic has to be amped up as high as possible. You want this to be evocative of a 1940s pilot, then dad's gonna look like fucking Howard Hughes. Like it's gonna be like the tip top of everything. And even like Oz Perkins' like on-screen role as fucking basically Elvis Presley, like with his fucking big ass sideburns.
Yeah.
That's in the 90s too, with his fucking like Jim Jones glasses and shit. Like it's a choice. Like, and I think I really like that choice about it. That's one of the things that I would put on a positive end for me.
There are some solid choices. From what I understand with the short story, which I tried to listen to, I found the whole collection of short stories called Night Shift is on Spotify, and Matthew Broderick reads the Monkey short story. And I listened to a portion of it, and the tone is very serious. I didn't get to finish the whole thing. But I think making a movie like this does sort of lean into the like choosing to lean into the comedy is really a smart decision, because it's such a goofy concept in general. It might work in a novel, but I think making this monkey actually terrifying in real life when it just can't move on its own would be extremely difficult. I think it was a good idea to lean into the comedy. And I think the design of the monkey is fucking rad. I think it looks great, the way the
Me
drumsticks spin and everything, and the sound, the like music that plays when he starts drumming is great.
Have you ever seen a monkey before?
I have. There's also like some funny the movie looks great. I think it's shot extremely well. All of his movies tend to look absolutely gorgeous, and I think some of the editing is actually funnier than some of the jokes themselves in this movie, like the way
The
people
editor
die
is a
and then we
joker.
we like
Mhm.
crash cut to the funeral or whatever. There's certain little
Oh my
jump cuts
god.
like that I think are that work really well.
I can't believe we haven't talked about the funeral yet because well, I guess Juice, you kind of brought it up in an emotional
Mm.
sense. That scene didn't really get me. I get what they were going for, but it didn't hit me emotionally. What hit me in that scene and like throughout this movie, it was like the fucking priest was the funniest part of this movie to
I
me.
forgot about the
Oh
Like,
priest.
what the
fuck.
fuck was that?
I know that was
Like,
a weird
I have
choice.
no
Yeah.
idea what was
Yeah.
going on with that priest and why everybody seemed okay with it. That's why, like, that's what this movie like that I think that I can key in on as like one of my favorite things about this movie is all of the tertiary characters. I talked about how all the characters are really amped up. That's especially true the further out you go to the fringe characters, the aunt, the uncle, the gang of bully middle school
Oh
girls,
yeah.
like all these fucking people like are just like so over the top and I don't know, it's the same actor, isn't it, who plays the priest and also Hal's boss, isn't it? At the convenience
No.
store? No, it's
No, the
not.
priest?
I
No.
thought so.
He
I don't
seemed
know. I guess
young. The priest did, like a
the
younger
priest seemed
actor.
well, they were both young. Like
Oh, I can't
No, no,
recall
no,
his
the
no,
guy who was
face.
no.
vaping in the back room, no? That
I
wasn't the
don't
same
think
guy?
that's the same person
Okay,
at
I
all.
got I got them confused then. But like in any case, they both are kind of like have like a stoner sort of demeanor about them, and so I thought they were kind of the same character. They kind of behaved
The priest
similarly
definitely seems like
bizarre.
he's high and like forgot that
He
he
seemed
was supposed to do a funeral that
he's,
day, or is that
well, he's like
oh fuck.
stoned and not really a priest. He's like a con man who's like
Yeah.
got called in when he
Oh
wasn't
fuck.
expecting
Yeah,
to.
Danny said like oh fuck or
He
something.
He's like,
does,
oh
yeah.
fuck. Like, that's how
Yeah.
he opens the funeral, and I don't know, man. That shit really, really got me. Just like all these tertiary characters are the best. It's kind of that it's not on the same in the same way, but it's kind of that Coen Brothers thing where it's like all the characters are kind of weirdly fleshed out in a very specific and bizarre way.
Yeah.
Actually, that might be the most kind of authentic 90s feeling thing about this is all those weird, quirky characters. I think that does kind of give it this flair of it's like late 90s kind of film stuff going on. But yeah,
Mhm.
that did work too, especially yeah, because they all get like some kind of crazy death a lot of times too, like the aunt and the crazy
Mhm.
uncle and
The
I
real estate lady.
yeah,
Holy shit.
I kind of wish that the gang, I kind of forgot about the gang of girls. I kind of wish that they had some big slaughter. That would have been fun too, about the bullies. But yeah, I don't know. It just, yeah, I guess I never really took this movie too seriously. And so
Yeah.
it was, I don't know, and knowing nothing about it, I found myself kind of laughing or chuckling really more than I thought. I guess I found myself more entertained than what I thought I was going to get out of a kind of serious movie. And not it
Mhm.
just like when the girl jumps in the pool and explodes and the leg goes fucking
Mhm.
flying by his face. That was just even at that point, I mean, we're probably 45 minutes into the movie, and I just it wasn't. I mean, I knew she's gonna die, but just the leg going fly, I don't know. I just kind of took it to places I didn't really expect, and I found that entertaining, I
I
guess.
think it does a really good job of straddling that line. Like there's a lot of movies that try to be horror comedies and they try to just make a kill funny and like it just doesn't always work. It frequently doesn't work, I would say. And I don't know what it is, but like they really just kind of I think this movie kind of masters that line to really make something scary enough to or at least like I don't know, not realistic, but feel weighty enough to where like when somebody fucking explodes, it's unexpected. You know what I mean? Like it's unexpected and funny. It's like takes you by surprise, even though you're seeing all this bombastic stuff happen all the way up through. It does a good job of like methodically placing those things and letting you have that contrast downtime before it shoots back up usually until it gets to the end where like people are falling out of the sky and shit and then it's just like it's Raining Men, and it's completely a shit show, and that's kind of fun in
Hallelujah.
its own way.
Did you
Hallelujah.
boys rejoice when you saw your favorite uh, actor from Halloween Ends, Corey Cunningham, showing up in
I
this?
fucking I didn't know how you were gonna broach that topic, but yeah,
Who is
Corey
he?
Cunningham's in this. He's the kid.
Dresses up as a
He's the guy with the
cop.
bees. The bees
Yeah.
guy.
Oh, so I was confused. Was that supposed to be the other brother's son?
No, I
I
don't
don't.
think
I think
so.
he's just like a hired
He's just a
henchman,
local kid.
essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
really confused about that because when they introduced him, he's at his home and they're doing that
yeah.
kind of same thing that they did with the other kids when they were
Mhm.
younger, where the mom is talking about their dad leaving them or like he
Mhm.
went out for a pack of cigarettes or whatever. And so through the whole introduction of that character, my assumption was they were talking about the other dad abandoning them.
No, I didn't. I
And
didn't get.
I don't
so
think so.
okay, I was very
I can see
confused
why you
by
would get
that.
there because but like it eventually becomes clear that he's like he was hired to find the monkey. He found the monkey and he handed it off to Bill, and Bill was like, "Fuck off
Yeah, but
now,"
then he
and
was
he
like,
was pissed
can
off.
I have it back? It reminds me of my dad." And I thought, well, maybe he just hasn't seen the guy's face, so he doesn't realize that that's his dad, and he's
Maybe,
talking
but
to his own son. Like that, I
I
was
don't
just
think
very
so. But
confused.
I think that whole subplot, like that character and his family, like his whatever, like army
Army
brother, his
brother, yeah.
like that whole thing, like as much as I was just like waxing poetic about the side characters, I don't know what the fuck was
It
going
was
on there.
strange.
That's the weakest part of this, like weakest like thread in this movie, I would say for me.
That's
It's like I don't know what this is like. As confusing as confusing as some of the intentions were in elsewhere. That's the one where I still don't really fucking know what anybody was doing.
Well, that's why I thought the boys were gonna like start talking and realize they were cousins or something. Like I thought the whole thing was gonna
That
realize that
could have
like,
been
oh, you're
interesting, but
my nephew. Oh, that's my dad. And the dad knew, but he's such a callous piece of shit that he doesn't, so he ends up getting his come up. I don't know. I was just like that. I was just under that impression the whole time because of the way they introduced those characters that when it
yeah.
didn't do anything, I was so confused.
It's a very strange thing. I mean, I guess it's a means to an end to get them to force Petey into the like into harm's way, basically, with his uncle, because he like this is the kid who holds him. But like, there's
Yeah.
ways to do that, and they spent a good not an insubstantial amount of time with the family, establishing them as characters. And I kind of see like their demeanor as a like they have a character in that way, a certain swagger. But I don't understand what any of them are. Like I just don't, especially Corey Cunningham. He specifically, as a player in the story, needs to have some sort of clear motivation beside or some sort of way of tying himself in besides like, it just reminds me of my dad. Like that seems very thin and random. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it does. I don't know. Nothing really seems to have stakes really at all in this movie, and I think that's just another one. And it's fine. It's not taking itself too seriously, and I don't think people watching it should take it more seriously than it's trying to take itself.
Yeah.
I just think the comedy and the kills and the bombasticness of it was all just kind of lacking, and I think that's what this movie is trying to be. That's what it
Mhm.
is at its core, and none of that was enough to like keep me engaged with this movie. I just really wanted more out of it, I think.
I did kind of like the trap house, as I
Yeah.
do. No.
You love the trap house.
You would. The
The
bowling ball
Yeah,
kill.
the bowling ball, and just the axe swinging and the swords and stuff like that. I honestly thought they could have done it up a little bit more, but I did kind of like the shrine that he kind of had to the monkey, or just the way was
Yeah.
started to interact with the monkey and had the key around his neck and stuff like that. And then that quick flash of all the deaths that had been happening in the town. I thought that was fun, where the guy's got
Mhm.
his coffee machine and the steam like blows in his face and it melts his
Right.
face off. And so, all those kind of things. I think there was like a lawnmower one, maybe. I can't remember all the ones that
Oh yeah.
flashed through.
I felt like there was I don't know. I was not particularly. I didn't feel very strongly about the trap house. I'm still not clear why he booby trapped his house to begin with.
So
I just
people
don't
don't
have
steal
any.
the monkey, Randy.
Nobody fucking knows about the monkey. There's no
Yeah.
danger of that.
He's
Like,
trying to get people to come into his house to take it, to quote, take it, so
yeah,
it is a little confusing, honestly.
I don't know.
The
Like plot wise, it's not there, but it's
uh,
I don't know. It's
the
fun.
bowling ball scene was like kind of like a full circle moment because at the beginning of the movie, he's like holding the bowling ball over his brother's head when he's sleeping in bed, pretending like he's gonna
True.
smash his head in or whatever. So there is, I don't know if that really means anything or matters, but full circle moment, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they do like it's the thing is like there are things that are set up that aren't paid off. There are things that are set up that paid off, but like not in a way that's coherent to me. And then there's things that are set up and paid off. It's like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like I don't know. It's a little scattershot. I will say that. Like I think that if this was not so low stakes of a movie, it would not. Then I would have a lot more problems with the way it's
Yeah.
plotted and things like that. But because like I just think it's so over the top, so kind of knows what it wants to evoke out of people for the most part that and it's not really the emotional stuff. That stuff is there to they make an attempt at it, but it is completely secondary and that's how I experienced it. I really liked um Elijah Wood and all that stuff, but I guess on a personal note, I had a fucking bit of a bad beer situation
Oh boy.
at the theater because there was a dude next to me who was maybe the loudest eater I've ever heard in my life to start the movie, and then spent the rest of the movie, and I'm not kidding, like way over laughing, way over cackling at literally everything that happens. So it kind of like took some of the fun out of some of it. Everybody else in the
Oh
theater was like
man.
appropriately laughing and like whatever, but this guy's like like fucking losing his shit at the most basic shit you can imagine. Um, not even jokes, just like things that happened on screen.
I
Just
love it.
he's the only one in the theater laughing. It's
I
fucking
really
weird.
think people are like so lonely in their personal lives that in any amount of like social interactive space that they live in, they have to like go extra hard to just get a
Maybe he
little
was
bit
there
of
with people.
attention. Oh, okay.
He wasn't alone.
Damn. Oh, that
His
makes me
other-
feel a little better, actually. The
I
road
mean-
Justin was going, I was like, fuck, maybe it's true.
that's
But at least he
grim.
had friends.
Maybe it's true.
I haven't left
Fuck.
my house in 6 years.
This
The
is
monkey
funny,
is all
right,
I
guys?
have.
Right, everyone around me.
We're
We're all
all
friends,
friends,
right?
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 Sound
Ah,
like a
it's
bunch
so
of nerds who
fun.
never had a girlfriend in their lives.
I won't follow you home, I swear. But only if you laugh with me.
Listen to me eat, right? That's awesome.
That's
That's awesome.
awesome.
Becky
I went-
literally made me switch chairs with
Oh
him
no.
because it was so loud.
That's a bummer.
Ah.
I went to watch this with Alice and Mikey and friend of the show Matt and his lovely wife came as well, and like had a great time watching it. And as soon as the movie ended, Matt was sitting next to me, and he turned and looked at me and went, "Wow, I didn't like that at all." And I was like,
Wow.
"Me either, actually."
Damn. I'm surprised Matt didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of
Like-
like kept checking in with myself when I was watching the movie. I was like, is this really that unenjoyable? Like, what am I missing? Like, I don't know. It just didn't click.
Wow. That's really
I don't know what time of
strange.
day did you see it. Let me ask you that, just out of curiosity.
It was 7:15 or something like that on a
Okay,
Friday.
So it was
Friday
not
evening.
like I could imagine myself not being as into it, depending on what time of day it is.
Like a 10 o'clock showing or something.
Yeah, like an early showing or something. I might not be as apt to go for it, but
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think this is honestly from what I've read, like from the people I've seen react to it that I know. It seems largely positive, but there are definitely some people that are like, I don't really. It's whatever. Like, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can
it's kind of how I
understand.
feel about it too. It's like it's whatever. That was low stakes for me. A complete
Yeah.
surprise. Didn't have any expectations and was more pleasantly surprised than just like nothing really disappointed me because I wasn't really looking
Yeah.
for anything, I guess. Yeah, so that's your problem, Bob. You expect too much.
Yeah.
Didn't really expect much because we covered Long Legs, and like at this point I just don't really think I'm an Osgood Perkins fan. I
He's
think
got some problems. Yeah, he's.
my favorite movie of his is that Hansel and Gretel. Gretel and Hansel.
Still
I
haven't
never
seen
saw
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like
It's solid. It's like
When's a good
It
time to watch that, Bob? Where do you think it fits in the calendar?
it's kind of like this Technicolor.
Spring.
It's pretty spooky though. It might be a decent Halloween time watch, like early fall maybe.
Okay.
Maybe as soon as fall
Yeah, I
kicks
could see
off, put it
that.
on, because it takes the fairy tale like deadly seriously, and it doesn't have these like quirky tonal shifts. And I think the witch is kind of sick and just I think that's done really well, honestly.
Cool. I'll have
So
to
check
check that
that one
out.
out if you haven't seen it. Yeah.
So it seems like, yeah, maybe Osgood is like kind of scattershot for folks, but I would say that like based on like all of this, I didn't really care that much for Blackcoat's Daughter. Other people did. People are large in many ways split on Long Legs. Even now, I go back and forth about how much I like it or liked it. It just seems like maybe he's kind of, I don't know, he's got a style that can keep me involved and engaged and entertained to a certain degree, but the end result is kind of dependent on what my mood is at the moment, maybe, or I don't know. It just doesn't. It seems a little scattershot, but I like the way like I think you're right, Bob. Like the way his movies look
Yeah.
and the way they're edited are so capable and so like beautiful to look at, like really like tightly edited, all those things. That really makes a big difference, even in a movie where the plot isn't necessarily getting me anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, or I don't know. There's things to praise about this director, and I would like to see more out of him. But I
Yeah.
think he's still ultimately like kind of topping the heap of more recent horror centric directors, and I think a lot of that also has to do with the fact that he hasn't done any adaptations yet, as far as I know. So, well, I guess Hansel and Gretel is
Yeah,
technically
the
one, but
fairy tale, but and
He
this is a short story,
he
but he
always just
kind of
he
oh
always
yeah,
makes like
duh,
a couple
fucking
key
yeah,
really strange choices that always kind of like leave you scratching your head. Like, why did you do that?
or
You know, like there's a big one I can't say
mm,
in the Blackcoat's Daughter, but then a lot of people were like, "That's a really weird choice," or
a strange
yeah, that's a
decision.
strange thing. Why did he do it? Yeah,
But
and he always seems to do that, and it always is like it never really pays off, I guess. I don't know.
or it's just like it's entirely like it doesn't feel like it's
Unnecessary.
as it's got as much cohesion as it is novel. Like that's the thing
Yeah.
is like I think you're right. Like there is
mm,
always something that's like strange decision, and I want there to be a really compelling reason for it, but
Yeah.
I can't find what it
yeah.
is. That seems to be an ongoing thread because I felt that way about Blackcoat's Daughter. I felt that way a little
Hmm.
bit in this movie. I definitely felt that way in Long Legs to a certain point. And he's like his bluntness, Rob. You identified that, and like some of the shit. Like this is not the
Yeah.
movie that he needs to be subtle in, so I'm not bothered so much by it.
Yeah.
But like in Long Legs, a little lack of subtlety there as well. That could have used some extra
Yeah.
subtlety. So I don't know. There's some faults, but I think I like that his stuff feels. I feel like I know his style, and that's more than I can say about a lot of directors in the
And it
space.
it does feel kind of unique too, and there's value
Right.
in
It
that.
feels like his style. Like
Yeah,
not
Yeah.
a
yeah.
Yeah.
style, his style.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, yeah, there's I might not love his stuff, but I'm glad that he's, cranking movies out and people are enjoying them because like, Longlegs was, all it did incredibly well. This is like I said, this has already made its budget back, I believe. It was like a 10 to 11 million dollar budget. The opening weekend already earned 20 million. So yeah, it's good. It's good to go.
I don't
This
know if
feels
it's top long legs yet,
accessible.
but sorry.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like this is one of those movies too. I could see, like teenagers watch it. Oh, there's this new horror
Absolutely.
movie, and at the end they're like going to watch maybe one of their first kind of horror movies in the theaters, and like really getting a kick out of it, like a younger audience, because it has that feeling of a low stakes B movie that you just don't really kind of get anymore for theater. People are so
Mhm.
precious about what kind of movies they can make and making their money back and like what gets released in the theaters and stuff like this. This feels like one of those movies that was very prevalent in the 80s and 90s and then doesn't really kind of exist anymore. And that's kind of got its own charm to it too.
I totally
Yeah.
agree. Like this is the thing is like movies that are not based on IP. Like everybody's we've had this discussion. Fucking God knows a
Does
lot of
have the
people
name
in the
though to it. Got to
that's
make
the thing
that
is like it
Stephen
does
King.
this is an adaptation and it
I
has
know
it's a
that
Stephen
guy.
King like but it's not
Stefan
but it's
King.
but it's not like a sequel or a reboot, or it's not like
Sure,
a
yeah,
big
yeah, yeah.
tentpole thing. It is very clearly like focused on his version of the story.
It's not an It
it's an
spin-off.
director driven adaptation, as opposed to an adaptation that they hired a hot director to helm
Yeah.
and had some showrunner or whatever like pulling the strings on that and making the punches pull a certain way. So I don't know. I approve. Like, there's just not a lot of what feel like original movies that come out because they're all adaptations, whatever, and you're always comparing it to some other thing from before. I don't get that as I frequently with Osgood as I do with others. Like, I can see other things that he's getting influenced by. I know he's getting influenced by like B movies and by Stephen King stuff or whatever. And Longlegs, very clear references there or stock there, but it still feels transformative, and that's what's like transformative and not in pursuit of the biggest payday. It feels like it is an honest attempt to make something cool, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, he's out there doing his thing, and good on him. I'll watch the next one. I'll keep watching them for sure. They at least look incredible all the time. Let's go ahead and rate this thing out of 5. Randeezy, why don't you kick us off? How do you feel about The Monkey?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of laid it all out already. I'm a little medium on this movie, but I ultimately like see it as frivolous fun. I enjoyed the ideas of the kills, even if I didn't love some of the gore effects, and I really liked a lot of the fringe side characters and how ridiculous they were. The editing and the color and all those things, like the shooting in this movie, it's all very, very good. And it just sort of doesn't have a whole lot to scratch beneath the surface, which always goes a long way for me if there is. But as much as they attempted to give it a little emotional resonance, I didn't really feel it, and I definitely felt like there was some confusion on my end about what some characters were attempting to do, what their motivations were. So it lost some punch and stuff, and also a little slight bad beer scenario, which I already went over. So I think I'm gonna give it a 3.25 for me.
3.25 from Randeezy. Juice, what about you?
Yeah, I was feeling Randy on that. I felt about the same way where I was like pleasantly surprised. I thought it was pretty good, entertained. Not a lot of like negative moments. There wasn't anything to kind of killed my vibe. There were some things I thought like, it's weird or whatever, but it didn't like ever ruin anything for me. It didn't feel like a big bump in the road. And I generally just kind of liked the kills, thought that they were fun and interesting and entertaining. But there was one big moment that I groaned and I was kind of disappointed in the overall
Let
choices.
me guess.
And yeah, that's gonna cost you a half star. So I'm gonna take a half star off for the wood, you know. Of course, playing a creeper again, you know. It's his eyes. He's got weird eyes. His
Like
eyes,
a doll's eyes.
they're unsettling. They're not okay. He's
Big people.
too good at
He's
playing.
not okay.
He's too good at playing some weird
He's not
creeper character all the time.
okay.
It's just like his go-to. He's so natural at playing a weird person that he is. So I'm gonna give a negative half star. So we're gonna give it a 2.75 for the monkey.
Damn.
2
So you-
3/4.
If it wasn't for the wood factor, you would have been on my level. That's a
No,
shame.
would have been, yeah.
That's a
It
damn
really
shame.
was a moment where I went, "Oh, what the fuck."
Man, that sucks.
Yeah. Bob, out of 5.
He's not okay.
I think he's probably okay.
I think he's fine.
We'll find
he's
out.
doing all
I'm
right.
telling
We'll
you.
find out.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna
Justin's
get to the
not telling
bottom
us
of
that
this
he's
Elijah
been to-
Wood.
Justin's gonna go deep undercover to the Elijah Wood Diddy parties. That he's
Man, when
throwing
this
in the back.
Elijah Wood news pops, y'all know I'm gonna be showing up.
We'll give you a well-earned hell heat in that moment.
There we
You're
go.
gonna print a shirt off that says "We got wood."
We
exclamation
had
point,
wood.
With like little
Never again.
bars. I'm way colder on this movie than you guys are. The overwhelming, like the only emotion I really felt while I was watching was just kind of bored. I was just ready for her to be over. There was a couple chuckles, I guess. Like I said, the intro like really got me pretty stoked. I thought it started um just amazingly, kind of like Long Legs, like I said. But the characters are just sort of there. There's no emotional weight to them, and the spectacle is lacking generally. Corey Cunningham, I wanted him to die in like a really cool way, and he just didn't. He got a mouthful of wasps, and then they like somehow ate him from the inside out or something. I don't know. It didn't. A lot of the kills I think were CG totally, or at least CG enhanced. And I think that really took away from the spectacle for me as well. Because like if you're gonna really hinge your movie on like creative kills, I would definitely prefer them to be largely practical. And like the woman exploding in the pool, that was all digital. Just didn't look very good, and they didn't feel like mind blowing in any way, really. Like I think the Final Destination kill sequences are like way more interesting, and they're largely practical. And I don't know, was reminded of that. Um, yeah, just not really for me. Maybe I need to revisit it and see if it hits a little different. But it does look great. The soundtrack is great. The design of the monkey is great. Some of the editing is really solid. But overall, I find it just kind of boring. So I'm gonna give it a two out of five from your boy Bob. That's gonna put our
Man.
aggregate at a 2.7.
Mr. Hotcakes today.
Hot cakes. Yeah, I usually am way into this dumb splattery bullshit.
Yeah,
I know. It's
I was
weird that
surprised
me and
this
you
was
are
you,
on a
so-
reversal. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
odd, huh?
Bob clapping
Especially
them
with the wood
hotcakes
component.
today, I know.
Yeah,
It's
the
very
wood really drove it down.
Damn.
So yeah, 2.7 from you boys here at the Straight Chilling Podcast. Let's go ahead and jump into a Rotten Tomatoes segment and see what the critics and users think.
And technology just wants to fuck me over all day today. The bump finally played though. This is the Rotten Tomatoes segment in which I'm gonna have to hold on. Holy shit. I'm sorry. I'm like fucking brain dead tonight. I'm sorry. Quick reset there. Yes, this is the Rotten Tomatoes segment in which I'm going to have these gentlemen guess within the best of their abilities what the aggregate positive score is on RottenTomatoes.com for The Monkey. Starting, as we always do, with the critical score. There are 176 reviews from the critics. I'm going to go with Juice to start things off today. Juice, out of those 176 critic reviews, what percentage would you say are positive?
I don't know, because I was trying to think of how Longlegs did, and I feel like more people praise Longlegs than I thought they would, so I was kind of confused by that. So I don't know, maybe he's I don't know. Bob's kind of throwing me off with his weird take on this. So I'll keep it a little lower than no. I'll say 75.
All right, 75. Bob, where are you coming in at?
I do think I'm in the minority. How high shall we go? I'll take an over, I guess, with an 80.
80. All right. Well, damn. It was a single percentage point difference between
Oh, damn, we almost
who won
tied.
and who lost. Almost
Damn.
tied, but if Bob had gone down to a 79, you guys would have tied because Juice is going to take this one with a 77.
Whoa! Bah. Certified fresh. What is the threshold? Is it 75? Or is it hell
I'm not actually sure what it
What's
is.
the threshold?
Now you
Is
got me
it
hell
questioning.
yeet, Bob?
I don't think that it is
No,
that.
damn it.
I think it's a hell yeet
I
threshold.
think it's a fuck.
Okay.
I'm gonna slap that monkey with the hell yeet.
Mm.
I'm not the only
Wind
one that
me
is
up,
punch drunk
Diddy.
tonight.
God.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Whole damn state's going apey.
All right, Bob, we're going to start with you for the user score. There are 500 plus verified users rating this bad boy. So where do you think they're placing this film?
Use me, Randy. Use and abuse me. They're
There's some
Rob,
weird juju in this fucking thing tonight. Jesus
I blame
Christ.
Justin largely for
You
doing it.
always
yes,
do,
we
Bob. You
usually
always
do.
blame me for all your problems.
It's your
Usually
fault
aptly
I'm
so.
this way. You've done
All
this
these
to-
blues, that's your fault, Juice.
It's
You
you.
pushed me to it.
Why would you do that to me?
Oh my god.
Where are the users? I feel like people are pretty positive on this, so I'll take the boys, Project 86, please.
Whoa.
Ooh, a Project 86. I see. All right, Soju, where are you coming in at?
Well, speaking of Bob's Blues, I see on that far left corner over there, he's starting to have to stack them horizontally
Oh.
now. I see.
Because there's 2 rows. Yes.
Yeah,
there's multiple rows.
yeah. So he's
in
got the
same shell.
verticals full, and now he's putting
Yeah.
in front where he's stacking them horizontally.
Oh
Keep
my
your
God.
eyes to yourself.
And it's consistent on that whole side. It's like it's not just happening in one spot. It's like there's 1, 2, 3.
Those are my VHS tapes. They take up a little more room, okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Why did you do this to me?
So I will go with I don't know. I think the audience will be a little bit more split on this. So you took The Boys, Project 86.
I did, yeah.
I'm gonna take the 69 Dudes. So we'll go comedy
Boys
numbers
versus
pitted against
dudes.
each other. Yeah, boys versus dudes.
A couple comedy numbers in play. My God, here we go. Well, one of you is clearly closer than the other on this one. You guys have a nice wide split here. Nice.
Ooh, we like a-
I bet
like
it's
a
the
wide split.
dudes. The dudes. are
Jesus
gonna...
Christ. But we are just scooping up this low-hanging fruit tonight. Jesus Christ.
Bananas.
The
In your
correct
face.
response. The correct percentage. The correct percentage is 61%, putting Juice in the right here. He's
That's
sweeping
the
this one.
hell you sweep.
It's all fun.
Why did you do this to me?
Now I gotta buy more movies. Oh, you.
I got to deal with the loss by filling this void in my life with blues.
I put so much on this game and now I'm nothing. I'm a loser, a big fat zero.
Damn, getting heavy tonight.
But it's your fault.
Very, very sexual and very violent tonight. I'm very concerned about our state of being right now.
We're just monkeying around.
Okay. Now we're in dad joke territory. Let's wrap this fucking thing up. I'm gonna go and read now the critics score. The critics consensus. It reads cruelly clever with some unforgettably gory set pieces. The monkey reaffirms director Osgood Perkins' horror bona fides while revealing that he also has a surprising, albeit sick, sense of humor.
His horror bona fide.
Boner fides.
Whoa. Thanks for getting there for me, Bob.
Wait a minute. Do you mean boner like a dick?
Like a banana that
I mean,
monkey...
split me like a nanner. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
Well, I'm
god.
gonna go smear some mud on my ass.
Damn.
All right. That seems like a fair assessment.
I like a muddy ass. What can I say?
Little mud butt never hurt anybody.
Don't kink shame me.
Have we all been sleep deprived? It's not just me then.
Well, I did just wake up, but that's always the case.
That's true. It's true.
We are leading you down a path here. I'm going to read a couple of negative reviews because sometimes they're funny. Here we go. The monkey teeters between ingenuity and frustration. Osgood Perkins crafts moments of inspiration and gets the best out of a solid cast, but the lack of cohesive identity prevents its erratic blend of tones and genres from reaching its true potential. I actually think that's very apt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
That did not
that
suck.
seems- It's like, yeah, there's a lot of good shit here. It just doesn't like really fit together perfectly.
Yeah.
All right, let's read one more. That wasn't funny at all. That was just kind of like well said.
Accurate. Yeah.
All right. The relentless quirkiness eventually becomes stifling and exhausting. Bob, do you agree with that? I don't, but
No, I didn't find it exhausting.
Not
I just found it kind of lackluster, really.
Yeah, it's not like moving at some rapid pace.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's pretty over the top. I mean,
It is,
Sure,
yeah, but
it's operating a high wire
consistently.
act.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to read one more just for the hell of it. Here we go, because neither one of those were anything. At times, the horror and humor click, leading to some pretty good comic payoffs, but those efforts are overshadowed by the tonal chaos, its lack of tension, and the half-baked story, which almost feels like an afterthought. Well, shit. These negative reviews made
They're
me
just-
more
yeah,
negative
they're
than
just
I thought
doing our
because I'm
job
feeling
better
all these
than us.
negative reviews.
Fuck!
Jesus Christ.
Just making us look bad, Randy. Damn.
Making us look like
Yeah.
shit.
Stop
Um,
reading. Damn.
God.
Fuck.
Damn it. I'm supposed to be a
Shit.
fucking professional.
This
Losing
shit is
my
bananas.
job over here.
Speak English, Doc. We ain't scientists.
All right, that's it for Rotten Tomatoes. Fuck it. These guys are better at this than we are.
Fuck it.
Bob, you got any trivia for us?
I got
tonight?
trivia. Let's do it.
It's totally time for trivia.
All right, fellers. Your boy Frank Darabont originally held the film rights to Stephen King's short story The Monkey and planned to begin working on a film adaptation upon completing The Mist in 2007, but he never did it.
That would have been a significantly different fucking movie. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah. This movie would have ended with the monkey just murdering the twin boys in the most horrific way possible. It would have been such a different tonal.
I
type of
yeah,
movie.
I don't
Well, it
know.
would have been
I
more
just-
honest to the short story, it sounds like.
Yeah,
from what
probably.
You've told me about that.
It
Sorry.
seems like playing this more straight though is not. I don't know. It's not the way I want it to go. I mean, it's a toy monkey.
I know that's the thing. It's like it's really difficult to make something objectively silly seem scary.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to sell that. I mean, we've gotten to the point where clowns are more recognized for being scary than funny at this point, so it's easier to sell for something like that. But fucking toy monkeys, like I don't know. There's a lot of I guess evil toys and things like that that can play somewhat straight. But even that, like you got like Chucky, you've got Mathregan, you've got all Puppet Master, all of which are just kind of like silly in their own way, and some of them lean into it, and the ones that don't aren't as effective. I don't think. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just a weird fucking thing to center your movie on. And
It'd be
take it very
hard. It'd
seriously.
be really hard to pull off. But yeah,
Mhm.
I think making it comedic was a smart choice generally.
Yeah.
The 1980 short story, which is about a cursed monkey toy that causes people to die in horrific accidents when it plays its cymbals, which is a drum in the movie, was originally published in the adult magazine Gallery magazine in 1985. Stephen King compiled 22 short stories, including the monkey, into his book, The Skeleton Crew. Adult magazine? Gallery magazine? I've never heard of. I don't know what that is, but
It's. I mean, there's a billion literary magazines. I'm sure it's just one that us illiterates don't know about.
we can't raid.
Mm.
This is just a big old quote from your boy Ozzy Perky. He said, "I took liberties like a motherfucker." They over at Atomic Monster had a very serious script, very serious. I felt it was too serious, and I told them, this doesn't work for me. The thing with this toy monkey is that the people around it all die in insane ways, so I thought, well, I'm an expert on that. Both my parents died in insane, headline-making ways. I spent a lot of my life recovering from tragedy, feeling quite bad. It all seemed inherently unfair. You personalize the grief. Why is this happening to me? But I'm older now, and you realize this shit happens to everyone. Everyone dies, sometimes in their sleep, sometimes in truly insane ways like I experienced. But everyone dies, and I thought maybe the best way to approach that insane notion is with a smile.
Damn.
I didn't know that about his family.
Neither
Like,
did I.
Anthony
And so
Perkins?
that like the childhood moments seemed to maybe hit a little harder, maybe knowing that. I mean,
Yeah.
I already felt it. You guys
Yeah.
didn't, but
The
I mean,
mom, when they're like under the tree, and she has that
Yeah.
moment where she basically says exactly that to her
mhm.
sons,
Yeah.
that
Kids,
did
yeah.
like resonate the most. In
That's
the
the
movie.
most resonance I got too, and
Yeah.
so it makes sense that came from a bit of life
lived
experience.
experience.
An
Yeah.
honest place, yeah. Damn.
So
I wonder what happened.
that's horrible though. Like, yeah, I didn't like his father's Anthony Perkins, right? That wasn't his
Yeah,
grandfather,
yeah,
right?
yeah. No, that's his dad.
I didn't know. I thought he passed of illness, not of anything crazy. I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I'll read the next one if you want to give it a Google. I don't know off the top of my head what happened. In late January, Neon attempted to air a trailer for the film on 4 major television networks, and all 4 rejected the studio, citing the film's excessive violence. Neon then released screenshots of the email discussions with the networks, although identifying information was all redacted. I saw those floating around, and they were, it's a decent ad campaign, I think. These people won't play your trailer because it's too fucked up, so you use that. It's all right.
Damn. Oh, this is grim, actually.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at Perkins's death. I'm just gonna
no.
rattle this off since we're in trivia. Like,
Yeah, go for it.
during the filming of Psycho 4: The Beginning, Perkins was undergoing treatment for facial palsy. He was tested for HIV after an article in the National Enquirer, a tabloid newspaper, said he was HIV positive. Berenson said her husband had not been tested for HIV, but had been given a series of blood tests in Los Angeles for the palsy on the side of his face. She said that she assumed someone had tested her husband's blood for the virus and leaked the results to the tabloid. He hid the fact that he had AIDS from the public for 2 years, going in and out of hospitals under assumed names. During that time, his wife and children were tested. They always came back negative. So a few weeks before his death, he went public with the disease, although he had been working on movies during that time of his illness. So I wouldn't call that like a freakish death, but it is a very sad fucking death. Like that's a very
Yeah.
like that was 92 was his death, so like not exactly the fever pitch of HIV, but not long enough after it for it to not hit hard.
I wonder who his mom was.
I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
I guess
Yeah,
just
I don't
his
know.
profile as a celebrity made that, I'm sure, feel
Well,
like a bit
having
of a
to
whirlwind.
hide, yeah,
Yeah.
having to hide that. I mean, but that's just kind of tragic on a fucking societal scale.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Go ahead,
okay,
Bob.
well, that was my downer trivia. Sorry. Go ahead, Bob.
Super
Bring us back up.
duper cool. I just Googled his mother, and
Barry
um,
Berenson.
Barry Berenson
Berenson.
was his mother, who died in the September 11th attacks.
Jesus Christ,
Oh no.
American Airlines Flight 11 was hijacked and crashed in the World Trade Center.
Oh
That's
goddamn.
fucking
Okay. Well,
She was on the
then,
plane?
Apparently,
Mm.
Jesus Christ, dude.
she was died on September 11, 2001 while returning home to Los Angeles from Cape Cod. She was a passenger on American Airlines Flight 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck,
That's
man, that's
fucked up.
rough.
So,
Alright,
yeah, that
well.
would be
Well, there you go.
That's-
Yeah.
tough on anyone. Yeah, damn.
Yeah. Oh, like tangential, but something that I wanted to ask you guys, like, did you guys recognize the kid who played Little Petey in this movie by any chance?
I don't think so.
Little Petey.
Like the kid
Hal's
Petey,
son.
as opposed
Yeah.
to fucking their dad from the beginning of the movie. They're both named Petey.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. No.
I
did
asked
not.
because Beck recognized him from other things, but the whole time I was watching this movie, I didn't recognize him. I thought for sure he was Osgood's kid because he looks like him to me. Like that kid looks exactly like Oz Perkins to me. Like
He's
I don't know.
Colin O'Brien.
What is
I
his
know.
name?
I know that now.
Colin
Oh,
O'Brien.
O'Brien.
no. Oh, what is he in?
Justin doesn't speak Irish.
He's in
Bob.
The
Come
Monkey.
Oh, thanks. Oh, he was in that Wonka movie. Okay.
on. Yeah, apparently I didn't see that.
I didn't.
but-
I like kind of started watching. I don't think I finished it though. Maybe
And
I
I was
did.
just surprised because like I don't know, there's something about his like facially he just looks a lot like Osgood Perkins to me. So I was just very I was anticipating that. I was like, yep, that's definitely his kid. The whole time I was very convinced. Anyway, trivia that could have been.
Yeah, that is all the trivia I have. Let's jump over into our Cooter of the Week.
Straight chillin'.
Gooder of the week.
Juice, what is a Cooter and why do we hunt them?
Oh, Cooter's a character type on a straight chilling exclusive. Cooter has to hit 3 of these 5 points to be considered a cooter, but we want the cooter with the most points. The 5 points of cooterdom are sexual deviance, manipulation, smug arrogance, overall look and attire, and overall patheticness. Boys, I think our boy, what's his name, William, is going to be a cooter this week. He is manipulative.
Oh,
For sure.
yeah.
He is arrogant.
Yeah.
Pathetic as shit
Yeah.
by the end.
Yeah.
He is pathetic. He is
When he re-sews up his childhood suit and has like
Looking
that
attire.
shit made me laugh pretty good.
yeah, looking
that's
attire. And oh, is he a sexual deviance? He doesn't really do anything deviant, does he, sexually?
Sexually, as far as I can remember, no.
I don't think
Um,
so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Hmm.
That's still pretty strong, though.
Yeah, four. Four
yeah,
out of
that's
five.
pretty, and like
That's a
pretty
good one.
firm.
Oh,
Nice four.
I kind of feel like there's a lot of cooters, or at least cooter adjacent people in this movie, like on the sides and the fringe. Like just the way people act in this is so fucking asinine and strange. Like
Maybe the
what is
uncle. What
Corey?
was the uncle's name?
Oh, fucking the guy played
Chip.
Osgood played him.
Uncle Chip.
Yeah.
Uncle Chip. So
Like,
looking
man, we're
entire.
swingers, so
Yeah. Little sexual deviancy. I guess he's not on screen a
that's
whole
not
lot.
deviant though. No.
We all do it.
I mean,
We're all
that's a
swingers.
consenting adult situation. That is
Hell
fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I swing with Bob and Alice all the time.
Oh, God.
mostly Bob though.
Fuck out of here.
Get
All right, gay.
Yeah.
I just don't know him well
Got in
enough.
Bob's mind. Really.
This is your fault. You did this.
God, I'm gonna have to beat that monkey.
God,
God damn.
because of you.
Oh, God.
Oh, Bob, please don't start.
I'm sorry, Randy. You were saying the younger kid that was played by Corey. His name is Ricky.
Ricky. Okay, yeah. Like, is there anything there? Maybe. Like, I just feel like I don't know what these characters are after.
I think he-
Pathetic.
He
Pathetic,
tongues Michael
sure.
Myers' butt, so that's like sexual deviance.
Ah, yeah.
Well, that's not this film, but
That was
sure.
my favorite part of Halloween Ends.
Halloween rear
My
end.
favorite part of the monkey is when he's eating his custard with mommy.
Sit on my face, Michael.
God damn.
Jesus Christ. Jesus.
I'm
we
gonna
all
eat
need a
spaghetti
nap.
out of that butt.
That's a messy
What the
meal.
fuck is happening?
It was a cut scene, but it's a bonus feature. I have it.
You,
on
you only
Twitch.
know if you got the blue.
You gotta have the VHS
You gotta have the
tape.
You got to have 3 copies of the blue, put them together, and
and then you get the butt tossing
you
scene.
get the fucking Voltron of.
What
of
is happening?
this
It's
is
all
a
my
mess.
fault, I'm sure.
Thanks for reminding us. Oh.
I don't know, man. Let's just call it. I don't.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
been, it's
any more
Bill.
people.
Bill is number one, but I mean, yeah, everybody is kind of kooky and weird. And maybe even Hal. He's pathetic for
He's
sure.
he's dedicated to being pathetic. It's like fucking weird.
Yeah, he tries to manipulate the monkey to kill his brother. So you could say
True. Manipulative,
um,
sure.
pathetic, manipulative.
I
He's
don't
not
know.
really arrogant, yeah. So maybe he didn't
Not
get
arrogant.
it now.
He's not sexually deviant. He's not
Yeah.
smug, so I don't think he's quite a cooter. But
All right, well, there
I
you
don't
go.
know, man.
Bill. Bill it is.
We
Bill,
got him.
Bill. All right, here we go.
No, that's
What's
a good
next?
bill. What is next is what we've been watching this week.
Hey gang, what you been watching?
Randy Z, what you been watching?
Not a ton this week for me. I still caught up with Severance. That show is very, very engaging and fun. I would say that the episode a couple weeks ago might have been my favorite of the series so far. But these ones are still good. It's just, man, it's a fever pitch with some of these episodes. Scamanda, I think I brought that up last time, didn't I? It's a documentary series, or I'm sorry, a true crime documentary about a woman who runs scams, essentially, and she pretends to have cancer for many years and takes advantage of a lot of people. It's very fucked up.
That is
Watch some more of that. And then been rewatching Always Sunny from the beginning because Beck just expressed an interest in doing that as a sort of a light show to have on while we're doing things that we need to get done. So it's a kind of a weird culture shock because that show's been on the air so long that there's some stuff that they definitely couldn't and wouldn't try to get away with that they used to do and say on that show, unqualified to do. So like, I don't know, it's kind of strange, but like it's still enjoyable. That show has been good for a long fucking time. And then last but not least, the Found Footage Festival rolled its way through town again this week. They kicked off a 20th anniversary tour, or 20-year anniversary for their show. So I went out and we watched them play some clips, do some banter about a puzzle. It's a lot of fun. I really like those guys and that show. I think they're like I said, they just kicked off the tour, so there's a reasonable chance if you're in America that you might be nearby when they come through. I would highly recommend it. That's it for me. Juice, you want to go next?
Sure. I watched The Rock, which is why we have some sick new bumps from that one. That's always a fun watch. It's very ridiculous, very entertaining. I watched The Great Gatsby for the first time. That movie's long, and it was pretty good. Leonardo DiCaprio is such a good actor, but the ending, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was maybe not as good as I thought maybe it was going to be, but it's still pretty good watch. I watched Hard Eyes a little late for Valentine's Day, but I did do a mini cast on it, so you have that to look forward to sometime next month. And that was pretty solid. Kind of like this film, kind of like a medium for me. Probably better than this film, but well, I don't know. But I liked it generally. It was pretty good for a Valentine's Day slasher. And I had mentioned this before, but while I was in the States, I had watched that Korean dating show about the people being on the island, season 4. So somehow I've become addicted. I wish. I have become addicted to Singles Inferno, and now I have watched season 1 and 2, and then in the middle of season 3 now. So that's what I've been watching these days. Bob, what you been watching?
MILF Inferno.
MILF Inferno. Man.
MILF Island.
Watched a couple movies.
One soju, 20 MILFs.
Oh yeah,
MILFs.
MILFs.
I like that it turns the plural involves a V. What's with all these MILFs? This is just chock full of MILFs.
Up to my eyeballs in MILF.
Gotta be grammatically correct here, boys.
Yeah, we're not
always are
grammatically correct here. Daggum straight.
I watched a new movie that was on Shudder called The Dead Thing, and this movie essentially takes the phrase like getting ghosted and makes a movie out of it in a very like literal sense. So girl goes on a date with this fine chap that she meets on the dating app, and there's more to him than meets the eye.
A chav, you say?
I haven't chavs.
It's just one. It's not multiple dudes. It's
she
just
bangs
one.
a chav,
not a chab.
Not a gaggle of chavs. There's you date one, you date them all, and it's a problem. And she finds out.
Jesus.
The Dead Thing. Check it out on Shudder. It was okay. It was all right. I also watched the new Captain America movie in the theater and didn't particularly care for it. It was again kind of boring. Harrison Ford is the Red Hulk. Don't need it. Really don't need it. Sam as the new Captain America, I think does a great job, but it feels kind of like he gets sort of sidelined in his own movie. The setup, I would say like the first 20 or 30 minutes is really interesting, and then they take this character Isaiah, who I like really wanted to see a lot more from, and they just he's just gone the rest of the movie. You just like never see him again, which totally sucks. So yeah, not a great Marvel movie. Like, I didn't hate it. I've seen worse Marvel movies, but it was pretty lackluster, generally speaking.
Dude, I had no idea there's a new Spider-Man movie coming out this year. I'm so out of touch with Marvel.
This year?
I think so. As much as I like followed it along, I think I've totally checked out now. I could be wrong about that, but sorry, Bob. Go ahead.
I didn't know
just
that.
turned. I honestly think that horror is going to be Marvel-fied in some way because it's the only thing still reliably making money. Is these horror
true.
movies.
It's true.
It does it. It's very
Oh
very
no, it's
reliable.
next year. My bad. My bad.
Oh, okay, I got you. I saw a couple live shows. We went to watch Alton Brown live in
Really?
theater. Yeah, he's doing a live tour. Apparently, he's done several, and this is his last one. I didn't know that he did it at all.
Yeah, I know
It's
you.
called The Last Bite, and I didn't really know what to expect. I never watched Good Eats. I'm not like super familiar with Alton Brown. Like I know who he is, but I never like watched his programming or anything. Um, and he came through town on Valentine's Day, and Alice is really into it. So we saw him at the Florida Theater, and it was a production. Like there was way more going on than I had expected. He had like a huge screen behind him that made it look like he was in different rooms, and he had like this giant this thing that apparently his grandfather had designed, which was supposed to churn out something like 80 hot dogs every minute or something, and never built it, but he built it. And it's like this huge assembly line. It was like broken up into 5 pieces, and they like had it on it. They brought it on a tractor trailer. Like that's how involved it was. And then he got people from the audience to come up and like see how many hot dogs they can make in 2 minutes. And then he like reviewed them, and it was all very funny. It largely a comedy based show, but if you're familiar with his programming, it's all about cooking, but from the viewpoint of like science. So you do like learn some stuff. He's kind of like a Bill Nye, but like all about food. So it's entertaining. You learn a couple things, and it was fun. It was really cool, and would recommend it if he's near you. Also went to a concert on Sunday. Your boy Jeff Rosenstock was in town, which was super cool. Got
Very
to see
jealous.
him, and he had a couple openers that I was unfamiliar with that were both also fabulous.
I
A
was
band,
interested in Bad Operation. I do know them vaguely. Not
yeah,
not very very well. But Soul Glow was good too.
yes, they were both great. Bad Operation is a ska band out of New Orleans. I was unfamiliar. They killed it. Jur was also there, and he just like would come out and play random songs, both with Bad Operation and Jeff Rosenstock. And they put on a great show. Soul Glow was more of a hardcore band. I believe they're from Philadelphia. Not 100% sure, but those are some boys you don't want to piss off. That shit was wild.
Damn.
That was some heavy
Beating
shit.
wholesale ass out there.
Yeah, the guitar player was a big dude. And he had this like giant afro, and like he was playing the nastiest riffs you've ever heard in your life. And he like wasn't necessarily screaming into a microphone, but he was just screaming on stage. It was nuts.
So smile.
The vocalist was doing like crazy high pitched, like screaming, like hardcore vocal. I mean, if you listen to that music, you know what it sounds like. But it was good. They put on a hell of a show.
Core, you say?
Heartcore. It's core from the
Heartcore.
heart.
Core.
Heartcore.
Oh, okay.
The musical genre.
I have to show
And
that to
then,
the Milbs.
Yeah, I've got this
Santa's Mills.
hardcore playlist for you, Milves. Why don't you all make me sandwiches while I play it?
Damn, Bob.
Jesus,
God,
Bob. Don't
that
you want to be sexist about the
really
mills?
pushed it too far.
Oh, moms like to feed folks. Come on. What do you
Oh,
come on.
okay.
Okay, Bob. I think we all see where you're getting at, and we don't approve. Okay.
So yeah, Jeff killed it as well. He played like a 90-minute set. He went on for quite some time. It was a good show.
I genuinely
Good
don't know
time.
where that man finds the energy to do
I don't know
even
either.
one show like that. Like
He
genuinely.
is moving constantly all over the stage, like, and he's not a spring chicken anymore. Like he's getting up there in age. He's still
Cocaine.
killing it.
Oh, it's the cocaine.
That's right. I did forget that cocaine exists. Thus,
Yeah, that's what it
does
is.
it.
He did. His whole face was just powdered right the fuck up.
Yeah, I
I'm
didn't
sure.
connect the dots. I didn't. I thought it was chalk, but I guess
Mhm.
Nope.
It's
It's
cocaine.
cocaine.
Munching on chalk. That's what I
Cocaine.
thought.
that is nibbling on little pieces of chalk. That's it. That's what I've been watching this week. We
Okay.
do have one voicemail, so let's go and jump into our hotline screams.
Hotline scream.
If you guys are listening and would like to call and leave a voicemail, you can do so at 904-638-3231. We got one voicemail. We're going to hear from our friend Nicole. Let's hear what she's got to say.
Hey guys, Nicole from Light and Shadow here. I am going to try to answer both of your prompts and not get cut off. So here we go. First of all, favorite theater experience. I lived in East Texas in a tiny town called Center for a few years when I was a kid, and we had one of those old-fashioned town squares, which was pretty cute, and there was a historic theater called the Rio. It was a one-screen, neon sign, classic marquee, and I have so many great memories of going to movies there when I was a kid, but specifically I remember Jurassic Park and Forrest Gump at that theater. It was darkly lit, smelled like popcorn, always had posters on the walls, very similar to the Britannia in New Orleans, which you guys are intimately familiar with. But the cool thing about it is I was wondering if it was still open because most of those old theaters are not. So sort of randomly, I just checked to see if it was still open, and it is still open. And from what I could find, they don't have any like official social media pages, and I don't think you can buy tickets online. Like you still have to call a number to get show times, and you have to physically buy a ticket at the theater. And I find that to be so charming. I don't know how they've managed to stay in business that way, but I'm glad that someone is out there doing it the old-fashioned way, and clearly the people are appreciating it because they're still showing up. So that's a great memory of going to the theater for me when I was a kid. Just magical. And to answer your other question about the monkey and how similar this movie is to the short story, short answer is the first half of the movie is almost exactly like the story, and then from the midpoint and definitely the ending, nothing like the short story. But I will say I definitely enjoyed this adaptation. I think Osgood Perkins did a great job of paying homage to the original source material, but also making it his own thing. So from a constant reader, from a King fan, I give this one my stamp of approval. And if you're interested, go get Skeleton Crew, read The Monkey. You can probably read it in like 30, 45 minutes. So anyway, till next time, stay spooky.
In your face,
Read.
Bob.
Not my face.
In your face.
Don't get in my face with it.
Nicole
That's
showed
awesome
you,
that
Bob.
theater's still open, and the answer to how it stays open is the same answer as to how Jeff Rosenstock gets all his energy. It's the cocaine. The cocaine keeps him afloat, I'm
Just
sure.
sell Jeff Rosenstock cocaine from that movie theater.
Yeah, just specifically sell it to Jeff Rosenstock.
Popcorn's a
yeah.
front. That is
Love
rad, though.
Yeah.
Theaters, man. Like, I'm so glad that some of them are still sticking around. Our
Can't hear you,
hometown-
Randy. There you go.
Oh,
There you go.
sorry. I'm just glad that these some of these theaters are still sticking around. There's boy, just so much danger to those kinds of businesses in terms of getting shut down for one reason or the other, losing business, having other business interests swoop in, as we experienced in Jacksonville. You know, it's nice that when those sort of things can survive, it's a nice community point. So hang on to that shit, Center, Texas.
Don't let it go. Yeah, I will say it took Matthew Broderick about 90 minutes to read the short story aloud, so he's a bit of a slow reader. Sorry.
A little
Sorry
dense.
about it.
Oh.
Apparently so. Mr. Godzilla himself, Matthew Broderick.
Magic Broderick.
He's to speed it up a little bit.
They call me Magic Broderick.
The man is magic. Yes, you can, magic. Thanks for calling, Nicole, and knocking out 2 prompts in one voicemail, like the professional you are. We appreciate it. Boys, do you have prompts you want to throw out for next week's show?
Ooh, good question. Next week is Frankenstein's Army, is it not?
Yeah, we're talking about another You Pick the Flick. This was chosen by Robert. The movie is Frankenstein's Army from 2013, not to be confused with Army of Frankenstein, that I believe was also released in 2013. Don't get them mixed up.
Wait, say that one more time, please.
Watch Frankenstein's Army. Do
And
not
not-
watch Army of Frankenstein.
Oh, uh-oh. Okay.
It is a found
watch-
footage movie set in World War II. So if that's not the movie you're seeing, you're
I-
watching the wrong movie.
Okay. I think
Yeah.
I'm on the same
I'm
page
gonna watch
then.
Bordello of Blood.
Yeah.
Well, based on the movie I think we're watching next week, which I think I have seen before, I was going to ask if you could make some kind of like cyber alterations to your body, or not even cyber, but like add some
Hell yeah.
blades to your arms
Let's
or
cyber.
or I don't know. If you could make
Jesus Christ.
some sweet alterations to your body, what would you want? What's like the one thing that you wish you could like add to yourself?
Yeah, if you could
Laser
become
beam eyes or
part cyborg or whatever.
yeah,
like jump
blade
crazy high.
hands or what do you got for me?
Permanent jetpack sounds like
Permanent
a good option.
jetpack. Look for
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd want to make up for
not
some
flying,
deficiencies.
like for like big jumps. Like you could like
Like
propel yourself.
Boba Fett style.
Yeah, you can't like fly around, but you can like
Yeah.
you could travel
Okay.
quicker.
He's really into Star
This is-
Wars.
I'm really fascinated by the lines you're drawing around this very
You can't
theoretical
fly.
idea.
You gotta
You
be
cannot fly.
right? You gotta be practical about it, okay? You can't just fly around wherever you
I'm
want.
practically flying.
You can have like springs on your heels, and that'll launch you, and then you get a
I
little boost
know,
from your
yeah.
jetpacking, and then
Mhm.
like that's awesome.
I kind of want some X-ray eye. To,
You
like, see-
would.
I want to do I just want to
You
have like
slut.
I just want to have like the Matrix input where I could just input skills and knowledge.
That's a good addition. Yeah, I wouldn't have to study Korean anymore. That'd be real nice.
There you go. You
You
can just
just know
download
it.
that shit.
You just fucking
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah.
Of course, then you have to debug yourself, and that could be a problem. But
That could be a problem.
we'll
We've
see
seen how that turns out.
Yeah, a lot of Elon's monkeys are dying behind this kind of thinking, so probably not.
Damn.
Yeah. Alterations to your body. What do you want?
Colin, what do you want to change?
Prince
about-
Albert, no question.
Prince, that's the one.
That's the mod I need.
Done
is-
and done.
So attainable. Let me tell you. We'll get you a little straight chilling like logo on the ball there that you can have it on your wiener. Little represent.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Okay, sure.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll check in. I'll
then.
check in with the Mills. See what they think about it.
Hey, Mills.
Very pro Prince Albert, those MILFs.
Mills, Bob.
If you got them in a can, you might want to let them out.
Oh shit.
Just saying.
My God,
Yes.
this is the most fucked up. Like, there's
They're
no
so
rudder on this
fucked
ship anymore.
up, bro.
Fucked up. So
Colin.
fucked up.
Oh,
It's not
bro,
even
that's
fucking
so
funny.
fucking dark, bro.
There's nobody as twisted as us on the net, bro.
Oh, bro, they're not as
Nobody.
fucked as us, bro.
Control yourself!
Nobody's doing it like straight chilling, bro.
Hey, man, you ever been to steakandcheese.com? I doubt it. High
Oh
five.
my God. What a pull.
Oh, shit.
Bob's out here
twisted,
fucking
bro.
referencing rotten.com type shit.
Yeah, man. The insane clown posse's
Dude,
tight.
Bob's
Every
kinks
time-
are showing.
I've been watching Severance, like I said, with some friends, some local friends or whatever, and they always we like to make a cocktail for
Doubt it.
the screening, and we went to one where they made a bunch of they made a melon party, and I fought tooth and nail with myself to prevent from making too many lemon party jokes. I couldn't. I was so desperate to say something.
Not with the
I
right
had to
crowd.
bite
I'm
my
not with
tongue.
the right crowd.
It's like
I'm not with
I don't know these people that well. I can't be referencing.
I'm
old-
too fucked up for this crowd. I can't even be here,
I'm
bro.
too twisted for you freaks.
Why don't you guys
I
fucking
don't
get
know.
weird with it?
This
so
is
I
the
can
straight
hang
chilling
with you?
crew.
Jesus Christ.
I don't feel welcome.
That was Randy Swinger's Club.
This
The melon party. I mean, yeah, that sounds. Everybody was
It's
just
a mel-
banging.
Mm-hmm.
it does kind of sound like a banging party.
Well, just banging. Call in 904-638-3231 if you still want to after all that. You can.
If you're still around, you're truly hard with us.
I think we just lost every subscriber, probably.
Nah.
Call in and
Too
tell
twisted
us
for this world.
Right. We're watching Frankenstein's Army 2013. Like I said, it is a found footage movie set in World War II. Make sure you're watching the right movie. Get ready for next week's show. Until then, you can follow us on all the social media outlets. Just search Straight Chilling Podcast and we'll pop right up. And until next week, as always, all you mother truckers, please keep chilling.
Well, I'm gonna go smear some mud on my ass.